Hey guys, this is your boy Euno, and you are back with Real Talk with Euno. So this is April's episode, and I was supposed to put it out in April, obviously, but see the way April when it came so damn fucking fast, a bitch didn't realize April was already gone. We are on May 2nd now, bitch. So, with that being said, this conversation tonight will be about race on a couple of topics. So bear with me. Oh my god, a nigga talking about race and shit, girl, please. It's fucking important, okay? First off, let's talk about Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. So, if y'all know the story by now because they're kind of quiet, but Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony got into a spat where Carmelo, questioned a nigga gangster. Austin decided, to play into it, and that led to his demise. Now, again, I don't like the fact that this led to this boy's death. Because again, I feel like these kids do not throw hands anymore. These YNs, these young niggas go straight to stabbing and shooting and shit. And that is so sad because, they be so young. Like Carmelo and Austin were only 17 years old. And so the fact that this has turned into a race war because politics got behind it, and literally you have Carmelo's speaker, because not his lawyer, his I think it's Dominic Allen, I believe, his speaker coming out and throwing out the dad after the dad literally said he forgave Carmelo for his actions. And we always see this shit when it's a black versus white thing. When this is a black on black crime or a white on white crime, we don't hear this. As soon as a white cop kills a black man, or a situation with Carmelo Anthony and Austin situation, we see that race always plays a factor, and I wish we would stop doing that. I wish we would stop doing that. Because what it turns into is people just can't have difference of opinion of things because they're human. It always leads to race. And so the fact that this case has turned into that, and now it's gotten quiet because all this stuff going on with with Donald Trump and this dude from MS-13 and all these things going on, that this story might get swept under the rug until they take it to trial. But I just want to say that there's been a lot of stabbings in the past couple of weeks. There was another school stabbing with these two boys, a white boy and a Latino, who got into a fight and the boy pulled out a knife and stabbed him. There's another situation with, I believe, another white boy and Latino that someone got stabbed. Like, y'all bitches carrying knives is crazy to me, motherfucker. I will tell you that now. Why all y'all bitches got knives? Like, did y'all mama and daddy not tell y'all to go, tell a teacher or tell their parents or tell the principal or something? Like, why is all this shit resulting in stabbings? And I just feel like, I understand for protection, but y'all are teenagers. Like, there's no way y'all cities is this bad, or y'all schools are this bad that it results to people killing each other. Like, this shit is ridiculous. But that's why I end on that. Because again, at this point, nothing has came up anymore. Like I said, the story kind of died down, but I know it'll pick up again soon. So just keep an eye out. Again, it should have turned political. It should have turned political, but it did. Next topic. Let's get into Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe, this dumbass bitch. Yeah. Oh, girl. Shannon Sharpe is a dumbass nigga, okay? Because my thing with Shannon Sharpe is, you're 60 years old, and didn't Cat Williams and Monique tell you to find a bitch your age? Why was you fucking with a 19-year-old who is now 22? Y'all were in a quote-unquote 2-year relationship. Obviously, you're paying for pussy, and now the bitch is about to take your ass to court after allegedly they claim that you tried to give a $10 million settlement to her, and she denied it. Baby, Shannon, what the fuck? So, only if you believe in, the outside powers that be, especially for people in the industry, the eye people, what I'm talking about, shit. Shannon Sharpe was about to get $100 million deal for, the club Shay Shay, ESPN, whatever. And y'all know ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney does not play with these niggas when it comes to reputation. You know, Disney is very dark. You feel me? If you know, you know. But Disney don't play with other people with their bullshit. So Shannon Sharpe, the accomplice, this shit is crazy. And if y'all recall, the whole thing with Miss Michelle, you know, my Michelle, where he on live having sex with this girl, it was very ill for me, because again, nobody to hear your business, and a Shannon Sharpe at 60 putting dick on bitches is Anyway, so let's get into a conversation I saw on Instagram about if this was a black woman. And I need y'all to stop doing that, because you know these niggas in the industry do not fuck with black women, especially dark-skinned women. These rappers might put a baby in them. These NFL niggas might put a baby in them. These NBA players might put a baby in them. But do you think a nigga with status, with the way people are, you know, stereotyping black women to be masculine and the independent woman trope and all this ghetto shit, that a Shannon Sharpe, and mind you, he's been being real ridiculous, you know, being in black spaces. And I saw a picture earlier today with a whole bunch of black girls, and another video with him at a motherfucking cookout and shit, where, Shannon, you know they ain't you, bitch. Like, stop playing with us. You was not this type of nigga. Because ultimately, allegedly, he already had cases of DV and molesting bitches. So I don't like Shannon Sharpe pandering, and I hate when niggas do that, because you then want the black people's support to defend you. But we done seen this shit so many times that, bitch, nobody giving a fuck about you, Shannon Sharpe. Like, girl, bye. Let me say this though, because this should be an eye-opener to these niggas that do this shit. Do not try to use black women when you fuck with a white bitch. Because, you know, we see these niggas in the industry, you know, they might start dating black women, they get a piece of a coin, they start making money, you know, they become part of the 10% of these motherfuckers, and then they go around and then go grab the white hoe they want or the Latina they want, because that seems more feminine to them. Knowing them bitches act just as bad, if not worse, than a stereotypical black woman. Do not do that. I hate that shit with a passion. And in Shannon Sharpe's case, because these niggas in the industry love fucking with them young girls, Shannon Sharpe, if you lose everything, that's your business. I don't like that Tony Busby, which is the lawyer that the young lady Gabrielle Zuniga is using against Shannon Sharpe. Tony Busby is a he's a placement on a chessboard, because you went after Diddy, you went after Jay-Z, now you go after Shannon Sharpe. You're getting niggas that are gonna make a whole bunch of more money already making to try to go at them. And again, to Gabrielle, baby girl, sorry, Gabrielle, baby girl, fuck you. Okay, you aren't OnlyFans girl. So you already position yourself at this point in your life to sell pussy. You acting like Shannon Sharpe put hands on you and shit. I'm not saying he didn't, because we don't fucking know for real. We heard the phone calls of him threatening her and shit. But baby, you know what the fuck that was. Y'all knew each other for 3 years now. Obviously, you knew the type of man Shannon Sharpe was. And the fact you didn't take the $10 million lawsuit tells me, because you didn't go get in the bag, or you gonna take the rest of the nigga money. And I follow someone on YouTube named Anton Daniel. Shout out to him. He's a really fucking cool dude. He pointed out that Ocho Cinco, because I didn't know that they were sponsored by Boost Mobile. Ocho Cinco had the Boost Mobile thing covered by his jersey, which lets you know that he's also fucking up Ocho's bag. And that's not Ocho's fault. And Ocho has his own situations in the background that happened to him. But what this man trying to clear is his identity, you know, who he is as a person. People don't forget, but it's not that relevant now, because he's tied to you in a way. Now you're from his shit like, bitch, that's fucked up. And I like that. Shannon Sharpe, baby, this is on you, baby boy. This is on you. And we can talk about Hollywood, because another audio got leaked by Tasha K. Them talking about some, This shit funny as fuck. Hollywood. What you gonna do with this? That nigga, what? Absolutely not. Okay. Next topic. Let's get into how I do not understand. I will never understand. Why do you niggas decide to be DL and not think the girls will expose you? Now, there has been a TikTok going viral, which I didn't think these niggas would do that shit, but they do. Okay, of I believe a young lady who put out a DL list of people in Houston. And this has now gone to the point where there's people now creating TikToks where they're also like low key throwing shade and like talking about, oh, we have a list for this city, for this city, for this city. And I hate the fact that men cannot be bisexual in peace. Now, what do I mean by that? We know we live in a patriarchal society. You know we do, right? And for years and years and years and years, in the Bible being, changed around to throw homosexuality like it's pedophilia, but it's not really pedophilia. It be these niggas that want to, do what they do, whatever. Women are allowed to be bisexual, men cannot be bisexual, right? Because, again, I've said this plenty of times. Women who get drunk, want to kiss their homegirl, or whatever. Women who do threesomes, male, female threesomes, where they're both straight, but they'll appease the man. They might touch each other, they might not. But especially black men, because I'm a black man who's bisexual. When a man touches a man in any form or fashion, it automatically makes him gay. There is no in between. And I feel bad for DL culture because I used to be DL, which is very funny to people think like, you used to be DL? Yeah, I was. What I hate about being DL is that you work harder to hide that you like niggas than to say, I like niggas too. Because hyper masculinity, especially with black men, because we're looked at as a hyper masculine trope, right? The hood has the gayest niggas. Okay? I was raised in the hood. I was not raised hood. There's a big difference with that. Let it be known, it's a big difference with that. But because niggas be horny as fuck, and y'all know niggas be horny as shit. Niggas be horny as fuck, and sometimes when pussy is not easy to find, where can you find it faster? Some dick. And obviously, when you want a little bit of head, or you want a little bit of hole, and you go ahead and hit that nigga up that will give it to you. I mean, damn. A nigga can't have his gay time in peace. And mind you, I don't condone the way gay people get treated. Like, the gay community gets treated worse than women. Because a lot of gay boys love the idea of turning a straight man out. But if that man are gonna fuck with you, obviously not straight. And we know that. But see, there's certain straight men that feel like because, I'm only doing to get a nut out and we're not doing certain intimate things. Like a lot of straight men I know, well, not a lot of straight men, let me rephrase that real bad. A lot of men on the DL who mess with gay boys, I've met a couple that some don't even kiss you. That's too intimate. Some of them only want some throat, some head. That's it. They don't see it as nothing else but a mouth. Niggas fuck you in the ass. It's just a hole. You can't see the fact that that's still a man. And so what I find crazy is when they start getting exposed, which again, I personally do not like people getting exposed. I don't care what you do behind the scenes. When you expose a man, the biggest thing a man holds on to is his masculinity. The moment you snatch that man's masculinity, the moment his niggas find out he's fucking with niggas, the moment the family knows that this man is possibly fucking with men, that masculinity is gone. Some that is it I don't say his name. Is it Anthony Howard? Y'all know nigga that paid in motherfucking Empire. Him. He did a podcast. I feel so bad that's saying his name right. I really do feel bad because I love him. He got on a podcast and he literally said about these niggas in the industry that as soon as you give your man card, niggas will go through mental gymnastics to try to feel like they're still straight. Y'all know that, allegedly these men get a booty cheeks up to these niggas in the industry to become, who they are today, And so, because I have to agree with him, because yes, if you are a straight man, compromise yourself for power and money, yeah, you can't say shit. But a bitch like me who naturally just likes men, and being gay in the world, that don't matter to us. It doesn't, because we know who we are. And the ones that are out always preach, hold on. A lot of us preach that wasn't always an easy thing. For me personally, I didn't come out the closet until I was 22. I knew I liked men by the age of 6. Yes, I also was touched as a kid, not by grown men, boys my age, who obviously were touched possibly by adults. And yes, that behavior does exude in children. And yes, they don't know no better, but they still do things that affect other little boys. Because again, we don't know what sex is. We don't really understand our penises. We just naturally know we like women because that's what we're born. We're born heterosexual until whatever. And yes, I do think people are born gay. I solely believe that. But I was looking at a video from one of my homegirls sent me a video about this white dude, right, who said he was raped and molested by his uncle and then 5 other men, and he said I purposely kept getting in trouble with the law so that I could be left alone. And he said as soon as he was on probation as a child, because he said until I was 7 years old, when he got probation as a child, the men, they were not dealing with him. As soon as he was off probation, the men kept dealing with him. And he felt like he had to consistently get in trouble with the law to be left alone because he was being touched by other men. I'm sure that man is straight. But there's some men who get touched as a child and then grow up and think they like men solely off of being touched by a man who was older than them. In my case, there were kids my age. But I already knew I liked boys, I liked men before they even happened to me. But the family will never admit that. So we started talking about the fact that, as he said, his uncle said that if you tell anybody it's happened to you, the family gonna break up. And what happened? And what normally happens in most family dynamics that it comes to rape and molestation, things like that. When the family finds out that a family member has touched a child, 9 times out of 10, they try to push it under the rug because you don't want to break the family. But that becomes a problem because now that you've done that, that child does not feel safe with you. And if you don't act on it to make sure the child is safe, they navigate the world on them same impulses and those protections that are not allowed to them. Families need to be more responsible and respectful of them children. Point blank, period. Because when I told my family at the age of 7 or 8 years old that my mother's ex-husband's son was touching me, I'd never seen that boy again to this day. And me and him are the same age. I have never seen that boy again. Because his father, who I think is low-key in the closet himself, because again, I don't know any straight men that take baths. And not just regular baths, bubble baths, right? You have to think about those things because, again, children are not always in the care of their parents. As we grow up and we be in school 8 hours a day like a person at a motherfucking job, maybe sometimes longer, we are more subjected to what other kids are learning and doing versus some of our parents, lessons and values. Not saying that your parents don't ultimately shape you, because they do, but when you're in school, you don't know what these kids are doing at home, and so it's easy for a kid who is naive to be influences by bad shit than it is for a parent to install kids with good shit that they hold on to later in life. Obviously, there's not all bad people in the world, right? But also at the same time, we all got some things we've done in the past that if you wanted to still go do as an adult, you can, but we know those things are right, but you'll be in jail. That's my period. So I leave that off to say, this is the end of the podcast. I end this off to say, be weary. If your child comes out to be LGBTQ, and I'm not talking about trans, I literally mean LGBTQ, because as much as I love the trans girls and the trans boys, I do honestly feel like the way the world is, that is being pushed, especially, people who are cross-dressers or do drag, who are transitioning, trans girls, trans boys. Some people are not really truly trans. These are weird ass fucking men who just want to be in women's spaces being fucking weird. But to the trans girl really transitioning and really embracing the fact they want to be a woman, I love that for you. But at the same time, yes, and we do know that hyper heterosexuality and like cartoon shit is still there. And yes, there's cartoons now that try to give everybody a space to feel, to feel approved on and, feel comfortable in knowing who they are. It's very rare that kids turn trans. And because I don't want to get into the whole thing with Zaya Wade, because I always fall into that, and that's a really big thing for me, because I feel like, Dwayne Wade just wants to be gay himself, but he rather do it through Zaya, and I don't think Zaya really want to be trans. But that's not the conversation of the day. I just feel like, give your kids the ability to be themselves. But if circumstances have happened to the child where they can't be themselves and they feel like to alter themselves to be somebody else, please talk to them. Please give them therapy, and please make sure they feel safe. Period. But with that being said, thank you for coming to Real Talk with Euno. This is your April episode. We're uploaded later today, and I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.